An uneasy mood has settled over Baghdad. Scarred by decades of intermittent war, people in Iraq's capital know the eerie suspense that precedes one. In coffee shops, old and young alike worry about being caught in the middle as the US and Iran threaten further escalation.
We don't want the battle to come to our country. They want to start a war, they want to settle accounts, but we're the ones who lose young men, lose money, lose infrastructure. We won't benefit from this.
People here are still in shock over the US strike that assassinated Iranian General Qassem Soleimani near Baghdad airport, drawing threats of retaliation from Iran and its allies in Iraq. Adding insult to injury, President Donald Trump threatened on Sunday to impose far-reaching sanctions on Iraq if the Iraqi government responded by expelling US troops. For Wassan, such rhetoric brings back painful memories from the Saddam era, when the UN Security Council imposed a crippling trade embargo.
For us as young people, we've lived through the sanctions during our childhood. We don't want to face the same thing again. We want to build the country.
Instead, the country now risks sliding backwards. The unfolding crisis between the US and Iran has shifted attention away from Iraq's months-long protest movement, demanding far-reaching political reform and an end to Iranian interference in Iraq. Since Soleimani's assassination, demonstrators have been attacked at least twice by pro-Iranian crowds. Their worst fear, however, is losing their cause.
People are afraid. They are afraid of the strikes that happened, and they fear that something will happen inside Tahrir to end these demonstrations.
Demonstrators are divided over the parliament's non-binding decision on Sunday to expel foreign troops. Some support the motion, calling the US strike a violation of Iraqi sovereignty.
We want Iraq to be an independent country, a country that thinks and decides and makes its own decisions without any intervention by outside forces.
While others see the presence of American troops as a necessary counterbalance to Iranian influence.
I am against the parliament's decision to expel the troops. Give me an alternative for the American troops. Who will protect me? An alternative to protect these people. They are all parties and militias. Either I have a party to protect me, or I will die.
Kurdish and Sunni parties boycotted Sunday's parliament vote, carried by the main Shia blocs. It's a sign that Iraq's leadership is once again split along sectarian lines, rather than united by national interest. As divisions within Iraq deepen over how the government should respond to the escalating crisis between the US and Iran, many Iraqis are worried that they will once again be dragged into a war they did not choose. Their demands for a better future are now overshadowed by fear and not too distant memories of conflict and hardship.